Hello, welcome. My name is Christine Cardoza from the Oasis of Healing Salt Spa in Waterloo, Ontario, 1 hour west of Toronto. And it is my joy to chat with you today about Own Your Lane coaching. So, this is a coaching program where I just figured, there was a lot of people with incredible gifts, abilities, modalities, many modalities, and, a lot of people who have all the pieces, but you're not sure how to put it all together. And so that's what Own Your Lane is getting really clear and strong in your messaging, in your bio, and who you help, and all connected to your birth chart. Because the more I was studying my human design chart and then my celestial chart, so not like horoscope, different, where the telescope or the stars truly are. I feel it's the true energy of what we're in. And numerology and cards, I kind of went down a path where I was looking at all of my birth chart information. I was like, wow, this is really cool. This is actually giving me the inner clarity, and I would even say confidence of like, this is what I'm here for. Instead of, I have these ideas and this would be good, or I see that, the world needs this kind of program or thing that's out there or help to be able to connect it to your birth chart, you actually have a way to move forward. There's less stress, less worry, less trying to figure out who's your ideal client and, your market or where do you play, especially for those of us who can do a number of things. And I've done a variety of things. I'm a projector 3-5 in human design, and so I've tried a bazillion things. And I can tell you the things that didn't work very well for me, and you get to decide what works for you. But it's not about, me even telling you what to do. It's like, what is your passion? What is your heart, soul been singing? And then here's some structure. Here's how to put it in place. Here's some accountability so that you can actually get the program. Right now, we're working on a 3-month coaching offer because, as we know, people, first of all, they heal themselves. We don't heal anyone. We guide or hold space while they figure their things out. And then, when we're talking to them and getting their feedback or their help of what they're going through, they're the ones that are going to move it forward. But for you as a holistic practitioner, or maybe you've been, in the wellness industry for a long time, or you hate your job and you're like, you know what, I would really love to help people in this area, then you can come through with your skills, your passions, your ideas, and you put it together in a way that suits you. So, is it running a retreat or some kind of advancement opportunity, a circle? Is it that you're doing one on one coaching, or is it group? We're putting together what a single session looks like and helping you, get very clear and using some power skills. I really like, for me, German New Medicine, I think gets to the core root of a good place to start. And then resolving the conflict, the inner conflict within. So the psyche, brain, organ connection. And then some other tools. I use quantum energy, the birth chart information, of course, and emotional regulation tools. That's really the biggest one, is to be able to teach people how to resolve their emotional conflicts inside. Are you the avoidant? Are you the anxious? Every relationship has one of them. And so just learning how to play in the energies and what you've learned from childhood or your core true beliefs about yourself, the law of assumption, is great for that. And then just getting really clear, who are you and what is your message? A lot of people, have been through some pain or they've been through some things or witnessed it in their family. And this is why, the helpers do want to help because they've seen other people in that difficult place. And so with that, we can actually take that big heart of yours and your clear vision or what it is that you would want to create in an ideal world. And then we help you with the pieces of like, actually moving forward where you're not doing only session by session because that's harder to make an income by and you're dependent and hoping for referrals or that people are going to come back and book sessions, but we know that they don't heal or resolve their conflict or the thing in 1 or 2 or 3 sessions. It takes longer for the ego to let go and to really actually do some of that inner work and that movement. And so what we're doing in Own Your Lane is creating your very own 3-month offer, 12 weeks. How do you move someone through a transition in 90 days? And then we build on that. Once you've got that one down pat and you feel really confident, then you can like just do the program again, or do it all over for the next 3 months, and then the next 3 months. Once you have three, you could do four, but I say three. Once you have three 90-day programs, then you have a year. You have a year program that you can invite someone into real transformation. Instead of quick fixes or, trying to hack this or that. It's like, no, let's get into the real core root of, what is it that this person is shifting or wanting help with. I think of, those of us who are helping as lighthouses, where you're the lighthouse. You don't have to run up and down the beach trying to decide, try the strategy, or, helping that person, this person. It's like, get clear, stand strong as a lighthouse. And who are you? I always think of, our most ideal client is in a boat. It's midnight or 2 a.m. The storm is coming, or they have a hole in the boat, and they're searching for the very thing that you already know how to do, that you've solved, or that you had, in a career or in your training, your school training, that you've learned the solution to this problem. And so it's just getting really clear as that lighthouse of saying, hey, I can help you with that. It's not going out in the water to help them and tugging them back. You can, but that's a lot of work. It's just simply, getting really strong and clear in who you are. And as you do that, and you feel really secure, and I would say lit up and excited about what it is that you're doing, then what happens is you become a magnet. Our hearts are a magnet. We are electricity, right? And so then you start magnetizing, and your clients just start coming in, from different areas, where they're like, oh, I saw this post, or someone, referred me to you because they saw something else that you had put out, where they just start to come as your belief in yourself and the frequency of what it is that you're creating begins to rise, which is really cool. I know that I have had a shift this year in 2024. It's an 8 year, for the collective, which is authority, power, money, I want to say authenticity. That's a good one too, but it's that's another A word that's just left my brain for the moment. But it's really just standing in your power for this year, and calling that in. And I've had over 450 new Facebook or Instagram followers, which is really cool. Out of nowhere, they've just like been coming in. I've hit an algorithm somehow, and it's really cool. I have the notifications coming in, so I know that I've had an energy shift, which is really cool. And really just standing in, I'm here to help those, the helpers, the intuitives, those with an idea to help other people, to really get clear in your message and have community, purpose, support to be able to do the thing that that you're here for, you could say, or what really feels good to you or fulfills your soul. All right, so I'm going to share a little bit about what Own Your Lane is. And this is a 4-month program with 3 main supports. So the first one always is, what do you need? What are you struggling with, or what has been a pattern, or what are you breaking the cycle of in your family or in the lineage? It's support for you, first of all, because we've been through really crazy 4 years, and living in survival mode, or what's happening with the world or my family and all those things. We cannot live in a state of fight or flight, freeze or fawn for an extended period. So there's a lot of, fatigue and tiredness and all of that that goes with it. But we still have to, pay our bills and feed our families. So first is, what are you working through? What is your tricky spot? And what I was starting to notice as I was doing the human design readings is that it sits in the shadow part of the charts. So whatever mine is, the gate 30 of passion, and the gate 14 creation, and creating something from your passion, not just, doing something for the sake of making money, but really connecting to that passion and, bringing it forward. And so it's all about you first. What do you need? Next is, what's your modality? Something that someone cannot Google or do a search for online, that it's only you. And what the cool thing is in your own frequency and what you're here for, you have soul aligned clients. You have clients who can see you when you're at a frequency of belief and trust in yourself, that they can actually come in. So there's no more competition. We're in a collaboration energy going into the new paradigm in the age of Aquarius. And, really just stepping into, how would you help someone transform in your way? Okay. If I'm doing business coaching and someone else is doing business coaching as well, we do it in 2 different ways. The message is different. The energy of the way we speak, or just honestly, it's the frequency of what people are picking up of our energy, is going to be very different. So that's why, cheer your other, whether it's someone who's doing something similar to you or in the wellness field, cheer them on, because it's so nice to have that support and that we stand together and stand united. We're here to help humanity, right? We still have the same goal together. So the second part is like all about you and your modality. So it's taking pieces of your skill set. What have you learned, even as a parent, right? Keeping kids alive, keeping a routine and things organized, like all those things. As a parent, there's a lot of skills that come through that. Do you have sales background or customer service, or maybe, your intuitive abilities are just really strong in all the clairs, clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsentient, etc., where, you can just feel or you sense or you hear or you're listening to something that is a message for maybe someone you're working with. And it's just the way that it comes out for you in a really beautiful way. I'll give you an example. I worked with and interviewed a beautiful healer from Hawaii, and she connects to the soul of babies before they come in. And I was like, wow, that is the coolest profession or career business I have ever heard. Of all the ones that I've seen, she still tops. So yeah, I love Elaine. So cool. And whatever it is, whatever your skill is, what do people naturally come to you for? You can build on that skill set, but also add in, what your birth chart information is. For me, numerology, I'm a life path 3. And it's all about communication and expression. And I have had a difficult time in this life trying to express myself. That's the one thing I've come to learn, definitely. And so I've learned some skills and being able to help others with it. I've done, oh my goodness, 35 plus years of development, personal development, and definitely have some skills, on how to express yourself or to get clear. And then my destiny number, which is connected to your name, is a number 4, and that's the dedicated worker. So when I look at those two numbers, then I can help people express themselves in their business, right? And that is so fun for me. It's like I hear your, the main points of what you want to get across or how you would say it in your words, and then I take it and I make it shiny and make it sound, where your client can actually read it and go, oh, that's me, right? And to feel into the transformation that you provide. So you get help with that. That's one thing that, I've been doing this for 4 years now. And probably one of the harder things for me to learn was like, how do I describe who I am? And so being able to, help you with that. And I've spent, probably over 60, 70,000 in coaching in the last 4 years, different business coaches and that. I've seen many different kind of systems. I can save you all that hassle and just find out like, what is working for your nervous system? What's your ideal? And let's build it your way, in a way that, works with you and your family, not doing it a cookie cutter way as, someone else is saying, but giving you lots of ideas and ways of doing it. And then you get to choose and pick what's going to be your favorite, what's going to light you up. Okay. And then the third thing is business support. So how this will work is, helping you get clear in social media, in your marketing. I believe in the core 4. So this is your spiritual vision, your ideal client, your obvious offer, of what it would look like to help someone transform, and then magnetic messaging. Once you have the first 3 down pat, the messaging is easy. You know where to go and who to talk to, right? If I'm helping someone, let's say transform in their coaching business, or taking wellness practitioners and moving them into their first coaching offer, or my favorite are German new medicine learners, because I've been learning that, and human design, or those who use birth chart information and combining the two together. That would be my ideal client. So I'm not going to go into a runner's Facebook group or comment, from a business perspective on someone who's doing, fixing boats, right? It just doesn't make sense. When you actually know your core person and how to speak to them, then you're going to be able to just be clear, and they're going to find you. They'll see you as that lighthouse that can help them with that next step of their journey. Okay. It's almost like you've solved something, some kind of a problem or solution, probably you 2, 3, 4 years ago, or when you were in a really low place, and you can just reach back and help the next person say, oh, I've done that step. I can help you up 1 or 2 steps. Right. And then the last very unique part of this offering is we're creating an Oasis of Healing app, so that we can bring all of the wellness practitioners that want to work alongside with us, where you're in the app under Find a Practitioner. You will receive marketing, I'm going to share a little bit about that, but it's the business support so that you're not by yourself, that you're able to work on your own business. So you're your own contractor, but you have the support of our inner core team. And right now there's 8 of us, which is really exciting. And I have 100, I have space for 100 that I'm holding out for you to really bring in and to grow and to develop so that we're our own inner core team all over the world. And then when people find us, they know the kind of coaching that we have, that we're offering. And it's going to be through the lens of German New Medicine. There's a really beautiful course that's included with this I'm going to share about as well. And for me, it's very simple in layman's terms on how to process emotions or the bigger things that are going on, not specifically looking for the trauma or the conflict. Okay. So the Own Your Lane, what it includes is an initial consultation with myself. If you're local to Waterloo, then I like doing things in person a lot more. So you can come on in, or we do the session online. You have a workbook to track your ideas and progress and stay accountable. And you can use that anytime you create a new offering. It's going to be the similar kind of process on like how to do it starting from the beginning. You'll have a personalized quantum design. I might even use cosmic human design, because that's also connected to True Sky astrology. And with that, I'm actually showing you, I have a chart that I've created that connects your body part to the German New Medicine conflict. So, for example, for me, the gate 30 is the pancreas in human design. I like Karen Curry Parker's encyclopedia. And so in the encyclopedia, she gives a body part for each of the gates, if you know human design. And so for myself, it's the pancreas. And the pancreas is all about resistance conflict. So having to do something that you didn't want to do. It's territorial anger. It's a fear disgust conflict and a chunk or morsel conflict, something that you couldn't swallow or couldn't digest or couldn't spit out. And so by combining all those, for me, I see it as someone who had to take something that they didn't want to take, or do something that they didn't want to take, or do. It could be religious trauma. I grew up 3rd-generation Jehovah's Witness and then went to a Catholic high school, and I'm sitting in mass going, no, this is not for me. And then I went into a Baptist religion, marriage, divorce, and then I coasted and I was doing non-denominational churches and then nothing. And then ended up, more partying, alcohol, sex addiction, all that kind of thing. That's kind of been my path. And so coming back into the center, for me, there was a lot of things growing up, especially in the Jehovah's Witness religion, of things I didn't want to do. And the other part around the pancreas that I see is anyone who has any sexual kind of trauma. There's some, things that we can help with going in and figuring out where's the conflict, that can help you to just lessen not necessarily solving the thing or going back to it, but how do you view yourself now and where are you moving forward to? So it's a way of incorporating all of the things that I've been studying to figure out really who are you and why are you here? Why have you gone through certain things that you've gone through, more from a place of self-discovery, which makes it a little bit lighter and a little bit more fun to learn about. Next, there's a private practitioner group on Telegram that we have. So the group is in there asking questions or sharing resources and things. We're a little family. And so if you are a wellness practitioner or you would like to work in that kind of environment where you're not by yourself, that was the biggest thing, is like you're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. Then, you're part of a team when you need some help or you have a client that has something really big and you're like, wow, I've never seen this or experienced this before, then you'll be able to get some help with that as well. Okay. The bonus body map from German New Medicine and emotional body and inner conflict resolution. That's something that I created. And so you could actually create a whole course from that. Next is a chakra healing workbook for inner healing that Courtney, our sound bath practitioner, she put that together, her and I. And it has everything you would need, in there. You could make a whole course out of that as well. We're giving you the tools. You don't have to try and guess and figure it out. These are things that you can utilize in your business. We just make it simple. It's like, here's, some avenues that you can take and pick your favorites. Like, kind of being at the buffet, your business buffet. It's like, what pieces do you want to bring in? And the next is the use of a chakra course. So that is in the app already. Tissue salts, which are cell salts, the 12 connected to the zodiac. That's another thing you can look at. even now, right? Look at your zodiac sign. And I love that song. What's your zodiac sign? I'm dating myself here, but you can take a look at your zodiac sign and look at the tissue salt that's connected. You could help people with those deficiencies. And we really love Jackson's Naturals from Vancouver. They only mix their tissue salts with beet juice. And so for me, it's just, Schussler's a great brand, but I really do like Jackson's Naturals. And then so that's the base things you can use for inspiration as you're creating what your offer is. And you're welcome to use any of that content. It's not mine, God gave it to me or I created it, but use it in a way that feels good to you. And in this Own Your Lane, we also have the Core GNM course from Louis Shi Springfield. So been going through that, and there were so many like ahas that I had. When I took the course, I was like, oh, I definitely want to have this incorporated into the business because it gives you the new way of looking at the body. 80% of symptoms really are connected to some sort of the healing phase. Or you could be in conflict. It just depends. The body either knows healing or it is in adaptation. So just looking at where you are, and I feel when you know where or what phase your body is in, you can support the body really beautifully in that, and it gives you some power, right? You're not searching outside of yourself to fix the thing, and we're not, trying to hack symptoms or make pain go away in that sense. The symptom is your medicine. It's there for a reason. It's telling you something. And usually it's your subconscious, right? It's speaking. The body's listening, psyche, brain, organ. And so it's just connecting to what you're ruminating over and over and over. We have a call on Mondays. So this is for business. And this is just, Q&A. What do you need, right? It's kind of like checking in, but also helping you to stay accountable so that you're doing the things that you need to do in your business. And then Monday night is the Own Your Lane coaching group. And we're going through and we're just sharing, where are you or who are you really with your chart first. I'm going to share a little bit more about that, but we're going through together as a group. And it's like building it right from scratch. We have people that are in there that are starting brand new, and they're putting together a coaching program with the skills they have or, what their heart wants to help others with. And we have those who have already been doing some of that work, or they know who they want to speak to. And so, it's easier for them to put together that first coaching package or offer. And then Tuesday nights, this is all about intimacy. And the reason why I put this call in here is because this is the one thing we are not taught, right? How to ask for what you want, how to share your true feelings, how to be authentic in your expression. We've learned, coping methods like fight, flight, freeze, when you're just like paralyzed, you don't know what to do. And a lot of us are tripped up into that. And then fawn. Fawn is the people pleaser. And I feel we move back and forth, right? The empath and the controller, and you move back and forth on that line depending on who you're talking to. So it's really, being able to have a safe space where you can learn a little bit more about yourself, make it fun, and then you get to practice. You get to actually talk to other people and connect, and whatever the theme is for the day or for that call, then you get to practice in with other people so that you are learning the skills. It's not that you're just taking information in. We have taken in so much information, especially the last 4 years. We're probably overwhelmed, right, with content. Now it's being able to put it into practice. And so depending on who's on the call and how advanced we can go, but we can talk all the way from boundaries, triggers. Triggers are your mess enders. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn. The F word is the fifth one. Those who are just at a stage of like, they're just like, screw it. Or using sex or substance as a coping method, right? So the way as you get to know and learn more about yourself, you can actually heal the addictions that you have going on or what your body's tripped into going in that awareness. A lot of it really is awareness, knowing what your patterns are. Okay, so that's what that call is to deepen that ability to really speak your truth. It helps you in business and it helps you in the bedroom. That's all sacral chakra. That Monday call and the Tuesday is working in the sacral and really just figuring out, what are you creating? If you're not creating babies, you're creating a better relationship with yourself. Okay. So over the 4 months here, I have it broken down by the months. So month one is all about that base. Okay. And it's all about you. Who are you? We pull the pieces together from the different birth charts that are available to you. And then what'll happen is some of those words or things will just feel really good to you. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to say it like this. but it gives you options. Okay. Back to being at the smorgasbord of you. So you're going to learn, who you are, limiting beliefs, what are your patterns, money, your money story, like where did the root of these things happen? We're talking about that. We're talking about visualization and really, imagining 6 clients around a table and they're there just for you. And what are you telling them? What do they have in common that you can help them with, that you're the one who has either gone through this as a life experience or you've seen it in your family or somewhere else or through a past career where you can help someone through that kind of transformation. Then next, there's a German New Medicine Connection worksheet that's there, the emotional ladder video, stop, drop, and roll. I have actually a lot of that content on my YouTube page, Christine Cardoza. You can find it there. And how to move through triggers. That's probably the one skill that is very important for us to learn and then teach it to the kids, right? Of like, how do you process when you've had an upset? It's not so much like kids can move through a lot of things and a lot of hurts. Where they really have a hard time is when they're not acknowledged or something big and bad happens and no one is helping them to self-regulate, right? And they're left alone in their own devices, which they don't really have the skills. And so it's being able to help them or just connect with them to let them have a space where they can share their true, honest feelings and what has happened. Okay. Next, month 2 is your custom client methodology. So again, it's like, how are you taking all your pieces and then expressing it into the world in a way that feels so good and juicy and delicious to you? And also, the person who's going to read it will say, wow, this is me, and totally resonate with it right away. And that's that methodology that we talked about, your intuitive or spiritual vision, your ideal client, your obvious offer, and that magnetic messaging so that people are just automatically drawn in. Okay, and recording your informational video on what you do and why. This can be scary in the beginning for sure, but it's, getting the practice and even sending it to myself or to the team so that you can practice getting that out or practice in the mirror even what you do. Or how you say it or the transformation you provide, because as the more you say it, it gets easier and easier every time. And you'll notice when you start to say it, or you could have been doing coaching or something for a really long time, but now you're adding a new flavor in, or maybe, your spiritual work, that's part of it. And you have the wobbles. I used to call this coming out of the woo closet because, I was this kind of person and now I'm adding in this new thing that I've been learning or that I just feel really connected to. And what will people say? My old community, they don't really know me as that. And so I used to be a travel agent, right? I was the one at the pool bar having drinks. And now I'm like helping people with the inner work and I don't even drink anymore, really. So, just a total different change. And it's so nice to have someone to support you through that transformation and to feel good about, okay, this is who I am. And there's other people who are just like me that are moving in this direction as well. You now have community, which is so important when you're making some kind of a change, knowing what your purpose is and having community. Okay. Client practice sessions with your peers. That's really good too, just to get to know, what other people's feedback, right? What are they going through or how do they answer or how do you feel in the answer? Can you hold big space for someone else who's crying or someone who's angry or has a really big emotion? We've been taught, to push emotions under the rug, but can you actually just sit there and hold emotion with someone and not try to fix it? Right? It's those kinds of skills that we're practicing together. And then other content ideas to speak to your potential clients. My brain is like a Pez dispenser of ideas. So even when I wake up in the morning, we had the call last night. And so I'm already thinking of 2 people that I'm going to reach out to and say, hey, I had an idea for what we were talking about in your business. So it's being held and supported during this time so that it's not just you working on your business, but you have people that are nurturing and caring for you as well as you grow yours. And then a practice podcast guesting with myself. Back in the beginning of the lockdown, myself and my good friend Virginia, we interviewed 18 healers and leaders every month for a year and a half. So I interviewed a lot of people. And I think it's just really good to get in the habit of, having your bio, having your photo ready, that you can put up, and also the practice of speaking and sharing your story and why you do it. I think that's the biggest thing, and then how people can reach you after, you have to get all your ducks in order, right? You have to have, the social media or your link or your website. You don't need a website in the beginning, but whatever it is that you have down pat, for them to be able to go to, and they're like, wow, I really like the story, I want to hire you. It's that process of like, how do you get them from that space of like seeing your information or your post or whatever it is you put out, a masterclass, all the way to saying, yes, I would like to hire you. And then, the signing up and the onboarding, that whole thing, the whole process. Next is month 3. And I just titled this Location, Location, Location. How are they going to find you, right? So diving into your bio, your offers in the app, but also on your own social media, wherever you're going to, whatever platform you're going to play on, creating the interest ladder timeline from start to paid, what that can look like for you. Again, no client or no website needed in the beginning. Having maybe a worksheet or a PDF or something that is really important to you, something that you might want to offer them. And building community. Where would you build community? Or maybe you already have one, and so it's giving this new spin on what it is that they can benefit from the information that you have. Next, month 4 is the client enrollment and processes. So what that looks like when a client says yes, then what do? You celebrate, but then you might have a little heart attack of like, uh-oh, I don't even have a welcome email ready. So it's getting all the processes, done ahead of time so that if someone says yes, you already know what the process is and you feel comfortable. Or if you've been doing that already for a long time, do you have a suite offer, or do you have the different ways that people can come into your world, and what does it look like, and is it clear? It's kind of like having a second pair of eyes on your business and seeing where your blind spots are, or where any of the leaky spots that maybe don't make it as easy for the client to come in and say, oh wow, yeah, I love that, but there's a hoop to draw, to jump through. It's making the process as streamlined as possible for them. Teaching inner harmony or naked alchemy courses is a couple other offerings that I have, and it's basically like an individuation path of who are you, what are your patterns, your triggers, your boundaries, knowing what that is and being able to express it, all the way to feeling and expressing an emotion, what that looks like, how to move emotions, how to ground, and just feeling really connected back to your inner soul self. There's a lot of people who feel so disconnected. And I would say even next year in 2025, we're going through a collective year 9. So that is endings and death, before rebirth, which will be in 2026, dark night of the soul. We're going to have a collective, dark night of the soul. And I would say those of us who have been doing the work and we've been doing, connecting to our inner self, we're going to be the ones that will be the helpers to help those who are just saying, wow, what is this life? I want to start not just, the ego of service to self, but here, shift into service to others. Can my business be transformed in a way, or can I create something that is going to help the whole or a certain group of people so that the, resources are shared and we're connecting with people on an unconditional acceptance level. I'm really excited. It's a great time to be alive. We really are shifting and transitioning. These, beautiful intuitive rainbow babies, or those who are highly intuitive that have been coming in, they are already, they're our future leaders. So they're more advanced than we are. And as I've been meeting some of them as clients, I'm just so amazed. I'm just like, wow, this is how we move forward. Where the kids of today, they're like, just love me for who I am and connect to me on a deeper present level so that we are breaking old dysfunctional patterns of disconnecting or being emotionally unavailable. The kids today are like, nope, you're going to be here and pay attention. So it's really exciting to see where we're moving as humanity in that beautiful soul connecting kind of way. Okay. And then there's this other tools that will be there and available for you in your business if you decide to use them. Perks of the Own Your Lane community is interdependence. So not being codependent on us, to do all the business and everything for you, and not so avoidant on the other end, but coming into the middle where you have a mix of you're good to be alone and go out and do your thing, but then also having a hub or a community that you can come to for support when you need it. Clients can book sessions or courses with you in our healing app if you decide to go ahead and work in there with us or work on your own, whatever feels good to you. If you do decide to work in the app, then we're helping you with the marketing. We're building this community of practitioners that, are able to help someone move through a transformation. If anyone does intimacy coaching or sacred sexuality, conscious kink, this is also a really safe place for you as well. I think that those types of coaches need to have a community because it is a lot of energy output in what you're doing, and being out there to have, a community or a tribe where you can feel like you are supported, because not everyone understands this work yet, but I'm telling you, the lower chakras is where it's at. We're good, a lot of us in the as above, whether you can connect to God, source, creator, nature in whatever way, but it's the so below that we have that harder time with, right? Because that's where we hide our emotions. That's where the shame often is held, or anger and rage from past experiences that we're here to grow through. And so even just working and helping in the lower chakras is a really amazing business, because it's helping people to feel safe and connected and grounded and embodied inside of who they are. Okay. And private practitioner group in Telegram to ask questions and build community. Very big on community. The pricing options right now, this is March of 2024, is $2,100 as a pay in full. And then there's a payment plan. That's all on the website, Oasis of Healing Spa. .com/own your lane, or you can look under the events tab right now is where it is, and have a look at it. Once payment is received, then you will receive a welcome email with the Zoom information and your first part of your workbook to get you started, so that you can move at your pace, but also get really clear in who you are. And then your birth charts will start to come in as well. We'll do your private birth chart readings for you to give you more of guidance on who it is you can help, just based on what we're seeing in the chart. So it's looking at all of you, passions, and the shadow pieces that are part of the chart as well, to really give you a hand on either connecting some dots on why you've gone through some certain things, and is it, turning that pain into your purpose. Could be, a big part of what we do over our time together. So there's some contact information for you there. And then here's a picture of the salt room if you're close and would like to come and be in our world here in Waterloo. So thank you so much. It was a pleasure to chat with you today. Thank you if you got to this end for listening. And we're really here, to support you, to help you in whatever your soul passion is, to help others, to make it as clear and simple as possible so that you can feel really confident and that you feel like you've got all your stuff together, that you're able to help and transform other people. It's our joy to help you get clear, because we know in that, then more people are going to be helped or supported, or just have a safe space where they can further grow, as they continue to develop their skills, in emotions or whatever it is that you decide to help people with. So thank you again, and I look forward to connecting.